Good morning, folks. Yeah, it's early in the morning. Again, this is becoming a norm for me, it seems. I got up early. I decided, I got 20 minutes before the wife goes to work. I'm going to go for a morning walk around the neighborhood. And when I say a walk, for me, I get home sweaty and my calves are all knotted up. So it's more exercise than just a casual, just a casual walk. But I got here, kissed her goodbye. I did some obnoxious wake up text messages to random people in my contact list just to start conversation, I guess, for the day. And who knows, just by sending those messages, I might change the entire course of history, because I sent a 5:30 a.m. text to somebody I've only met a couple of times and had their number in my phone, and I said, "Wake up," smiley face. So who knows? I'm excited at the prospects there. But I decided to make breakfast. And I've made a few videos now, actually just two. I like to say a few because it sounds like more. Two videos of me cooking stuff. And some people have told me that that's awesome that a male can cook stuff. Now, some of my cooking is simply assembling things together and putting them in the microwave, but I'm told that that still counts. So that's awesome. So this morning, though, I decided to recreate a meal that my wife had made for my son and I a few days ago, breakfast. It was the most amazing scrambled eggs. And how amazing can scrambled eggs get, you might be thinking. They're just eggs. And yeah, you can throw stuff in the eggs, and that's pretty awesome. But she threw so much in there, and you couldn't even tell it was in there. And it was so good, and I could just tell it was healthy when I was eating it. So I decided to recreate it this morning. So let me see if I can show you what it is we got going here. It's going to be eggs, of course, as the base. But I'm going to put in all these veggies. I got some garlic, some onion, some red pepper that's getting a little soft and needs to be eaten. That in the bag is half of a zucchini. I'm going to shred that into it because that's what she did, and it worked really, really well. Of course, here I have my skillet with, I guess it's extra virgin. I don't even know what that means. Olive oil in there. That's going to be the base. And then over here, I have a little over a dozen. I'm not going to cook all these, probably just 6 or 7 of them. Farm fresh eggs from our new and really awesome friend Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. And as you can tell, these eggs are probably, at least some of them are from the Americana brand of chicken, because they're green like little Easter eggs. This is probably Americana as well. I used to have some, and we will again too, but so I'm pretty familiar with their eggs. And then here's some protein, some meat. Looks like Canadian bacon. I know Canadians take offense to that term, but it's a real thing. I'm sorry. Though this isn't called Canadian bacon. It's just silver dollar sized slices of ham. And there actually is one more thing I'm going to put in there that I didn't actually remember until I was talking to you about this. And that is a big handful of baby spinach leaves. I'm going to put those in there too, because that's what my wife did, and it was really good. And even a child knows spinach is good for you, right? Who hasn't? There might be some kids now who haven't seen Popeye, but that's a shame. If you have children and they've never seen Popeye, deprive them no longer. Find them a few episodes of Popeye the Sailor Man. Regardless of how non-PC he can be at times, that's okay. You got to just consider the context in which the cartoon was written. Show them Popeye. And show them Woody Woodpecker, for that matter, if they haven't seen Woody Woodpecker. And I don't mean the movie. I saw that the other day. I caught it with Ben, and it was so stupid. Woody is not that dumb. It was bad. I don't think cartoons should be made into movies. They ruin it. But yeah, show your kids some classic cartoons. All right, so I'm gonna get the spinach now, and I'm going to start cutting up some veggies and get it cooking in the extra virgin olive oil. Not just virgin, but extra virgin. And then I'll catch back up with you and let you know my progress. Okay, let's peel some garlic. There's probably a magical, easy way to do this. I am completely unaware of what that might be. So I'm just going to peel this until I think I'm down to the garlic. Seems like if I start at the base, it'd probably work better. Let's see if I can get it started there. Okay, that's working all right. You can see the skins from previous peelings that my wife has done recently. All right, don't want to lose the meat of the garlic. Oh man, why is this so hard? As I do this, I am confident that there are many of you out there who are probably talking to your monitor right now saying, oh, you should do this, just do that. And please feel free to help me out and put those tips and tricks in the comments. All right, now I'm having a moral dilemma. This garlic has some green in it. It wants to live and grow. So my moral dilemma is that I want it to live and grow too. I tend to be on the side of things that want to live. So do I crush it up into my eggs, or do I plant it and let it grow? And you know what? I'm gonna plant it and let it grow. It obviously wants to, and who am I to stop life and the progress of it? Grow you shall, little garlic. I'll plant you later. Put you over here. All right, let's try this one. Oh no, green tip. All right, my moral dilemmas are growing here exponentially. And I don't really have time to not eat this. Oh, let's see. What do I do? Oh no! What am I going to do? I can't. It looks like I don't get garlic today. You know, this is what we get, I guess, for not using it too quickly enough. Doggone it. All right, I'll plant this guy too. I should have been through with this garlic peeling thing. Ah, green. All right, I'm gonna give up on the garlic. I'm gonna use some garlic salt, I think. Well, I'll use these two. Oh, you know what I could do? I just won't look. I will not peel this. I peeled it anyway. Now I'm seeing green everywhere just because. All right. Probably end up using garlic salt. And I'll use these three little ones too. Okay, so I looked in vain for the garlic press and could not find it. I looked everywhere that it should be. I apparently do not know the system of how things are organized like I thought I did. So I'm going to have to chop the garlic myself with a knife. No big deal. I'm not very fast at it. Probably the only thing I am good at typically when cutting things up is not cutting myself. I spent some time in the military disarming bombs for the government. And the one thing, well, not the one thing, but I thoroughly learned caution and safety. And so I'm very cautious, safety conscious, things like that. So it's not that I never make a mistake and hurt myself, because I do, but it's not that frequently. And I tend to impose the same burden of safety precautions on my family too, which is a pain for them sometimes, but I am certain I have spared them and me many hospital visits. All right, there's the garlic. And I did find some garlic salt, garlic and onion, which I'm going to use in addition to this little bit of garlic I went ahead and chopped up, even though I do see some green in it. It makes me sad. But hey, you know, the world is cruel, right? So I got this red pepper, and I'm going to take the core of it out. My son's not going to like me for putting so many veggies in here, but he's a good sport. And I know he'll go along with me, and he'll eat it anyway. He's good that way. I'm very fortunate I have a child that, even though it's not his preference to eat things that are green, he will do it. And I think it could be I have him brainwashed thoroughly and properly that eating is not so much about taste as it is purpose and health. And for something to be good for you, good for you and how it tastes are really two different things. Two different things. Sometimes you got to eat what you don't like in particular just because it's good for you. And he gets that. He understands his body is a machine. It requires certain things. Hey, these labels, they're not edible, are they? I better take that off. I'm sure it's not edible. I was just kidding with you. All right, so let me see if I can do this quickly. I'm running out of time, actually. It's almost time to wake little guy up. And I decided this morning I'm going to wake him up with music like I do on occasion. So the song selections, that was the tricky part. I asked my wife for a suggestion before she left for work, and she thinks it's hilarious that I wake him up that way. She suggested George Michael's Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. I like it. I usually choose 2 songs. So the other one it was in my head, it was an earworm in my head this morning, is Two of Hearts. I don't recall the name of the group who sings it. It's an 80s classic. And if that can't get you up and going and dancing a little bit and moving, I don't know what can. Two of Hearts. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to sing it for you. It gets kind of repetitive anyway. Not the most intellectual lyrics out there, but it's catchy. Appeals to our more primitive side. Alright, come on, dig. Wow, I'm really massacring this pepper. But it's going to be so good. I had a slice of this pepper the other day with another meal, and it is very juicy and sweet. It's so good. I did not grow it myself. If I had grown this pepper myself, it would be about 1/4 the size, first of all, if it even grew at all. And it would just look sad. My gardening abilities, though I never give up trying, are just not that good. I have not discovered the secret yet of how to do it well. I can get a seed to grow, but to get it to produce a fruit that's amazing, that just doesn't happen. Hasn't happened yet anyway. Maybe someday. I'll keep trying. You never know. All right, let me grate some of this guy up, this zucchini. See if I can do this without grating a knuckle. Isn't that a horrible thought and feeling? To grade something and accidentally, I should look at this, not the camera. To grade something and accidentally get some flesh in it. Eesh. Well, that grated down fast, didn't it? Alright, let's get this down to the nub. Why not, right? Oh yeah, we're almost there. Alright. I like it. Ta-da, that's all that's left. The rest of this is going into our body. Now we will not eat this entirely this morning for breakfast. We'll just eat a portion of it. And I will save the rest of it to snack on throughout the day as I continue on my weight management journey. And weight management, like I have said a few times in different places, is a mindset of thinking of food differently, of being very purposeful in what you choose to eat. You're hungry, you go to the fridge, you don't just seek out whatever looks good first. You think about it, like what's good for me? What's good for my body? Not just what I want to feel in my mouth and taste, right? Alright, let me turn the heat back up. I had turned it off because I didn't want to get a smoking, scary mess going here. And I do have the spinach also that will go in after I saute some of this. Alright, so let me get all this in the pan, let the pan heat up a little, I'll get it stirred up, and then I'll show you where we're at. I say we because we're doing this together, right? We're in this together. Alright, I've got everything that we had chopped up in the pan, and you can't smell it, but you can hear it, and you can imagine it probably smells alright. Yeah, it smells alright. I'm going to go ahead and put the spinach in now, and let it cook down too. My wife tells me, don't worry if it looks like a lot, because the spinach will cook down quite a bit and be almost, you'll just be shocked and amazed, she said it, how much it shrinks down and shrivels down. So I may be overdoing this, but you know what? Spinach is good for you, so how can you have too much of that? That's what Popeye says. I believe Popeye. Oh man, I can already see it starting to cook down. That's amazing. Alright, I'm going to call this enough spinach because my son's already not going to like me too much for it. And we'll cook this down and stir it around, and then I'll show you the results before I put the eggs in. Alright, I'm going to put it's cooked down nicely. Let me show you. It's cooking down nicely. It's not completely cooked down yet. I'm going to go ahead and put some salt and pepper in it. And I like to grind my own pepper. Fresh from the corn, the peppercorn. it just seems like a better idea than something that's been already ground up and stored for a long time. And I'm not much on salt. I don't recommend lots of salt, but I'm going to put a little Himalayan, pink Himalayan sea salt. Or I guess if it's Himalayan, it's not sea, right? Because, well, unless the ocean, yeah, okay, maybe it is sea salt from the Himalayas. I'm not going to debate that one. But I'll put a little bit of this in there. And supposedly, the pink is healthier for you because of certain minerals that are in it. All right, we got salted and peppered. Get the handle out of your face. Stir this around. It's cooking down nicely. Now, something I was reading regarding the weight management plan and recommendations to do said that every meal you have, you should try to make half of it veggies. You know, full, like physically 50% of it should be some kind of vegetables. So in this case, with the amount of stuff we just put in here, our omelet, our scrambled eggs will be at least 50% veggie. So that's cool. Here, take a look at that. That's nice, right? Ooh, that's hot. All right, let me get some eggs stirred up in a bowl and get them into the pan, and then I'll let you know, and then I'll let you take a look at it, see how it's looking. Okay, I got the eggs all cracked in a bowl. I want to show these to you. These yolks are amazingly golden. And I don't know what you're feeding your chicken, Cynthia, but whatever it is, you should keep doing it. Take a look at these eggs, folks. Are those not just absolutely gorgeous? The gold color, in my mind, that gold represents health and lots of good extra nutrition. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with these eggs, before I stir them up, I'm going to put pepper in there. Of course, I love pepper. You may have guessed that already. But I'm going to put in some heavy whipping cream. So, heavy whipping cream, I believe, is also very healthy for you. In moderation, of course. You don't want to drink a glass of it every day, probably. All right. So we'll do that. I'll stir that up. I'll get that all stirred up and make sure this pan is nice and hot before I dump it in, and then we'll put the eggs in. That ought to be amazing. All right, skillet's getting nice and hot. I think I'm going to put a little more oil in there, though. It looks a little dry to me. I don't want anything sticking to the pan, so take a gander. Yeah, it looks a little dry, right? Let's put a little oil in it. Just a little. Drizzle it a or boot, as they say in Canada. They may not really say that. That's just what I think. All right, let's stir this up a little. Oh yeah, look at all those veggies cooked down nice and mushy looking. I think they're going to mix very well with some eggs. So I think what I'll do is make a little spot in the middle for the eggs to initially touch down on, so they have a hot surface. Okay, let me get the eggs over here. I'm gonna hold that fork, and let's put these bad boys in there. Just for your information, I scrambled up 7 eggs for this particular meal. And it looks like it's just about the right amount to have that 50-50 ratio, or very close, of veggies to meat. This is not meat, of course. Oh man, speaking of meat, I forgot to cut this up and put it in it. I'll be right back. Smells so good. This ham is really good. It's thicker than Canadian bacon too, and it's got, obviously, cloves are part of this ham recipe. It smells of cloves quite a lot. Delicious smelling. All right. I should have cut this up before, shouldn't I? But I completely forgot. Oh, and here's a safety tip. Never, ever, ever leave the skillet handle sticking off the stove. That is just a horrible idea. you or somebody you love is going to bump it and perhaps receive some scars that they will carry with them for the rest of their life. All right, this looks good. Good enough. Let's get that into the pan. And then get this stirred up nicely before it all sticks. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me just show you this. It has a perfect, the perfect little crust to it. I let it cook just a little extra on the back side. That right there, I love that right there. That texture. So yeah, let me get this stirred up. I need 2 hands for this. I'm sure you can understand. I'll be right back. I am. We're making eggs this morning. What's it going to be called? It's going to be called Eggs with Benjamin, I suppose. Yeah, it won't take long now to be ready. I'm making you an English muffin too, like you said you wanted. You're welcome. Nope, no peanut butter and jelly on the muffin. It'll be butter and some of these amazing eggs. All right, these eggs are done. I've turned off the heat because I know that these eggs are going to continue to cook on their own even after I remove them from the heat. I haven't taken it off the burner yet, but I will in just a second. So I don't cook them all the way to the point where I like them. I cook them just before that point because I know they'll continue cooking on their own. But now, the last thing that needs to go in here. And it doesn't have to be this particular kind. As long as what you have says cheese and not cheese product or cheese food, that's not cheese. Stop fooling yourself if you think it is. I know Aldi's is cheap, but come on. That's not cheese. Real cheese. Put some real cheese on your eggs. All right, so let's get this open. See, it's childproof. Aha. Hey, Ben.
Hi.
Say hey.
Hi.
Does that look good to you? You're lying, but you'll eat it anyway and like it.
Not lying.
Okay, well, good. Good, I'm glad. Maybe you're not lying. You never lie. Not to me, anyway, that I know of.
Yeah, I'm lying.
All right, so you'll notice I like cheese a lot. There may exist a point where that actual real place where there's too much cheese, but I don't know what that place is. I've never found it. So put a lot of cheese. Now I'm going to stir this up. Mix it in, let it melt and get all gooey ooey. Oh yeah. This is going to be so good. And it made a lot. So here, before I stir it, let me just show it to you. Yeah, that's what it should look like, folks. That's the good stuff. All right, so we'll get this all stirred up. All right, Ben, you dressed for your day? Mm-hmm. Did you go to the restroom?
No. So I did get my face wet.
You know you're going to have to go to the restroom. You might as well do it before we start eating, all right? Otherwise, you'll have to get up in the middle of your meal, dancing around, and say you have to go to the bathroom. All right, this is perfect. I'm going to take it off the... I should look at you. I'm going to take it off the heat now. It's perfect, perfectly gooey. Set that over there. Now I'm going to break out the toaster. Toast a couple of these bad boys. They're not bad boys. These English muffins. Sorry if they're really not anything to do with England. It's just what we call them, English muffins. I don't know why. They're very good, kind of a sourdough bread with some little like cornmeal as part of the outside surface. I don't know. They're really good. The texture is amazing. Toast some of these because that's what Ben likes. English muffins. Put some butter on it. I'll slice this in half. Well, it'll be sliced before the butter. And I'll get Ben set up with these eggs, a muffin, some fresh cold water, and some apple slices and his vitamins and his Pro Tandem, which is an NRF2 activator. that turns back on any mammal's body's ability to produce its own super antioxidants. Just like we did as a newborn child, but as we age, that stops. So NRF2 activators biohack the aging process. So in every sense of the word, I am helping this guy preserve his cellular health from the age of 8 onward. So I'm anticipating he'll probably live to be 150, but I don't know yet. We'll find out. All right, let me get these muffins done. And as I always admonish, in a very nice, kind way, all you men out there who take it upon yourselves, who accept the challenge of cooking and doing something in the kitchen nice for yourself or your family, your wife. Doing it nice for your wife is always a great idea. Emotional bank account deposits are a good idea. But, now in the process of making this delicious, amazing meal, here, let's get a close up. Now, that is delicious and amazing. But in the process, I've also made an amazing mess. Let's survey that. So, we need to clean our messes up, folks. Clean your mess up, man. Don't just make it, just because you made them food, that doesn't make it okay to, not clean your mess up. So do that. All right, Benjamin, what do you think of your breakfast? What's your honest opinion? Does it look good? Does it look healthy? Let's start with that. Does it look healthy?
It does.
Okay. What on that plate are you going to eat first?
The eggs.
The egg? Really? Are you going to put the eggs on the muffin?
No.
No? You're just going to eat the muffin by itself?
Yeah, I don't think the egg will taste good with the muffin.
No? I'm going to put my eggs on my muffin. But if you want something else on your muffin, if you're not going to put eggs on it, we could put some honey or jelly.
Jelly!
Jelly it is. All right, so what we have here is a little bit of yogurt with his NRF2 activator mixed into it. We had some apple slices. There's a vitamin, just a children's vitamin, and then the 2 little orange things are vitamin C's. I threw trail mix on there because I am that kind of a cool dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am actually. I'm a cool dad. All right, so this is what Ben's having for breakfast. Let me walk you over here. Show you what I'm having for breakfast. I haven't actually assembled my plate yet, but that looks amazing, right? Absolutely. Then I made some English muffins. Now, I'm not going to eat all of this at once. For those of you who want to be smart and manage your weight, if you make this many eggs, do not eat them at once. Not in one sitting. That's a no-go. Don't do it. Portion it out. In fact, here's what I learned. That a cup, if you don't want to get a measuring cup out, your fist, the amount of food the size of your fist is about a cup. So you can, eat a cup of that at the most. And call that a big meal. All right. Well, thanks for joining me this morning as I made breakfast and got inspired. I've only gotten 2 text messages back from those people that told you that I randomly texted, wake up. The first one was from one of my brothers who said, what's wrong? And the other one was from a friend of mine. And it's a good thing he's a long time friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. And his reply to wake up was, I will as soon as I'm finished doing your mom. So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. And next time I get inspired to make something in the kitchen, I will include you as well.
What does I will until I'm done doing my mom mean?
He's just being funny. Don't worry about it.